10 years ago, the world didn't even suspect that anything in the Gulf of America could be dangerous. Now, new scientific research has recently surfaced that is catching the attention of the world. Not only are the southern coastal states sitting on a ticking time bomb, but what they've discovered now are signs of an oncoming catastrophe that's building, and it looks real bad.
So we've got this river of flowing heat and river of flowing liquid rock underneath our continent. Well, as the Earth begins to make these changes and earthquake activity is increasing and volcanism is increasing and the ice is melting on both the poles and on the continents, glaciers are melting, and our sea levels begin to rise, what we're going to see is the Gulf in the United States, North America, is going to lift, and it's going to get pushed up a little bit as we see the Caribbean islands drop and go down a little bit. So we're going to see some changes in our coastlines.
Once upon a decade ago, I tried to describe a disaster that could happen in our future. Things that had to do with a subsea Gulf shift and explosion that would bring a disastrous tsunami to the southern coast, sink Houston, and one ominous word, Octubrus. Back then, no one was ready to believe that the Gulf was anything but tranquil. After what appeared to be a subsea eruption in the Gulf in 2018, reports about the Gulf of America went silent for years. This year, new detailed scientific discoveries in the deep have been revealed. This research has raised the possibility, among other alarming news, about phreatomagmatic activity. It's when magma, gas, and seawater combine to make a volcanic bomb, causing underwater landslides and tsunamis. DiscoverTube and the Common Sense Show released their own intel on this situation that spans from Texas to Florida. And we're going to go over that now. Links are in the description box for all the videos, as well as many videos I've done over the years about this lurking danger. Let's start with DiscoverTube's reports first. Their video, Scientists Terrified After Cracks Opened Beneath the Texas Coast, gives us a terrifying introduction into the reality of the situation. In a video I recommend watching, they address massive seafloor cracks near Corpus Christi. They discovered mysterious methane seeping along the Gulf shelf, killing the oxygen supply in the water. They found ancient submerged structures near Galveston that proves the Texas coastline has been submerged before. Sinkhole formations accelerating near Houston's offshore waters, unexplained low-frequency rumbles beneath the Gulf they call the Gulf Hum was detected a year ago, signaling oncoming danger. There are dead zones expanding at an alarming rate, buried brine rivers unearthed beneath the coastline, mysterious bioluminescent zones spotted offshore that feed on methane, and shifting continental shelf. Well, it's raising tsunami fears because it's happened before. Even more recently, DiscoverTube came out with another Gulf video with even more alarming warning signs. It speaks of the fact that the Gulf of America's temperature is rising faster than the other oceans, that there is a persistent rising bulge in the Gulf floor, the possibility that the Gulf is harboring a rising ancient volcanic system. Questions are being raised like, should the Gulf evacuation planning be updated to include tsunamis too? Concerns about seafloor uplift near New Orleans and the mouth of the Mississippi and Door Point volcano. They point out that the subsurface heat is no longer a surface phenomenon. It's building from below the seafloor. Rocks taken beneath the seafloor are showing alterations from enduring prolonged temperatures of over 200 degrees. Gases like carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide are present in magmatic systems and consistent from a mantle source. And there's even evidence of molten rock and a magma reservoir. There is methane seeping from subsea asphalt volcano formations near the rising dome, helium-3 from the Earth's mantle. It's a mystery to the scientists as to what is causing these symptoms, but Jack M. Reed, an independent geologist from New Orleans, has suggested that the New Madrid earthquakes may originate beneath the Gulf of Mexico. There is also an uptick of tremors recorded in clusters around the dome, harmonic tremor characteristics associated with volcanic activity. And again, this is talking about Door Point volcano around Louisiana. Scientific research is scrambling to catch up with what they don't know about the Gulf of America. Geochemical red flags show elevated levels of CO2, SO2, and hydrogen sulfide. This underwater gas seepage can trigger landslides and tsunamis. Tsunamis could be triggered by rapid gas release or a ruptured seafloor. The Gulf of America is a ticking clock for over 17 million people. It would disrupt the entire economy and leave our nation vulnerable. They make a point to highlight the fact that no one expected the Gulf to be a problem, except for me. And new land could be formed in the Gulf of America. A major effort is happening to gather as much data as possible in the Gulf. They aren't sure that they have much time, weeks, months, who knows. But Texas isn't the only state noticing the scary changes. Florida, too, is reporting similar problems on their state coasts. And this is where the Common Sense Show comes in. He comes up with a video called The Geological Noose is Tightening Around Florida. And this is as recent as May 5th. He outlines a chart projection on rise of seawater in the south region of Florida without a cataclysmic event. He talks about seawater getting into drinking water supplies and mud volcanoes with methane bubbling up from the ocean floor, water warming up from below the seafloor, tidal waves that could occur to submerge the land. He talks about Florida's coral reef dying from the heat and the gases from below. And even he talks about submerged ancient structures around the coast of Florida, just like around Houston and Galveston. He also mentions multiple signs of volcanic and earthquake activity, sinkholes in Florida, the crust of the ocean floor moving, and something about sources saying that the Gulf floor is unstable and it could collapse. The tectonic shelf is unstable. For more information, check out my channel page. I have a newly created playlist solely dedicated to the troubles lurking beneath the waters of the Gulf of America. As it stands, the possibility of disaster is certainly there. If the vision I saw about this is to believe, this disaster can be averted as long as we don't try to divide the land of Israel. Israel does not appear anywhere near ready for land for peace talks, but the Gulf of America makes it clear that if we ever make that mistake, disaster won't just be possible, but imminent. Hopefully, that day will never come.
Security and stability will lift millions into lives of safety and success, and the nations of this region will be free to realize your highest destinies, honor your proud histories, harness amazing new opportunities, and bring incredible glory to Almighty God. People will come from all over the globe to be inspired by the cities you build, the businesses you create, the technologies you invent, and the beauty, talent, and potential you unleash right in the hearts of your citizens. Each of you will be able to take tremendous pride in the legacy you will leave to your children, because you will have given them the ultimate blessings of prosperity and peace.
That's all I have for you today, folks. Stay tuned for the next video. God bless you all, and I'll talk to you soon, God willing.